And welcome back to more Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So last time we narrowly won the Leaf Cup as Wario, and this time, since we're ending the Retro Cups with a fan favorite space-based track, we're going to be picking Rosalina. As for a vehicle, I don't have any idea of what I'm picking. Let's go with this one because it looks fancy. For tires, these actually match color-wise, so let's go with those. And for a glider, let's pick this umbrella because it matches Rosalina's color scheme. So we're taking on the Lightning Cup today, starting with Tick-Tock Clock. So Tick-Tock Clock is from Mario Kart DS, and is actually a pretty neat track. It's got a lot of opportunity for tricks, and a lot of really bizarre shortcuts. I like how the bell, or the clock, is actually ringing, like the actual goal is, or the finish line is like an actual clock that's ringing, and you can actually hear it ringing. That's just a really nice attention to detail thing. So, there are two separate tracks you can go. You can either go left or right in the center there. You have all these pendulums you have to dodge, so it's just a nice little difficult track. Not too easy, not too difficult. But also suitably challenging to start out this last set of courses. So really difficult shortcuts right here. You can actually go along this clock. I don't recommend doing that unless you're really desperate for a shortcut, because it's very easy to mess that up. You can actually trick off that. I didn't because I didn't want to go flying off into the abyss. So one thing I should mention is Rosalina is actually one of my go-to characters. I have 3 different characters I usually pick based on weight class. So Rosalina, well actually ever since Mario Kart certain characters were actually classified as heavy characters based on height. So Rosalina, I think, is classified as a heavy type character. So for a heavy type character, I usually play Rosalina. For a medium type character, I usually pick Yoshi. And for a light character, I usually pick like Koopa or Isabelle in Animal Crossing. I think Isabelle's a light character. I actually need to double check that. I'm dropping that bomb because I don't need it, and also because Blue Shell. It's like, I guess I was kind of hoping to get a Super Horn, but oh well. Also, I like how as soon as I start playing as Rosalina, I suddenly don't have as terrible of luck. It's like Wario was just really unlucky for some reason, and I'm not sure why. Like, that last set of races was just kind of plagued by bad luck, so hey, hopefully this is a good omen. So, that's race number 1, and actually went pretty smoothly. So this is actually a second recording again, because I had a failed recording. Honestly, this actually went a lot better, because I didn't randomly hit items as much. Piranha Plant Slide from the 3DS version. Again, not really one of the popular tracks, because it literally had just been in the game that had the same mechanics, so not much really changed. I think the popular tracks for the retro courses tend to be the ones that have a lot more changes, either visually or mechanically, or in layout, like with Wario Stadium, which I'm still convinced is kind of different in how it's set up. So you can trick off with these little green pipes. I kind of don't recommend it because we have a very tight turn right here. I usually don't like to go into that turn with too much speed to avoid like wiping out. I guess this would be different because this is anti-gravity. Maybe it was just a flat course originally. Or just underwater, not underwater and gravity. It doesn't make that big of a difference though. But yeah, this course, I don't know the exact amount of differences because, again, never played 7. I've actually thought about picking up 7, but it's not really high on my priority list because, again, if I were to play a Mario Kart, I would just stick with this one. But I actually do like some of the tracks from what I've seen in 7, so I've thought about maybe picking it up someday. Probably not online because I'm pretty sure the online community is probably long gone because of this one. So sometimes the pipe will be, will have a current. Well, that sucked. So sometimes you can get up to that upper platform. I usually don't go for it because there's a piranha plant right in front of it, and that just feels dangerous. So yeah, this is the track where I had to reset the recording because I basically got hit at the very end and dropped to like 5th or 6th place. So I thought, let's just redo it. Again, the last minute super horn is one of the most hype things that can happen. If you're about to get hit by a blue shell and then you get a super horn at the last moment, again, that's like the most hype. But it doesn't happen very often. The super horn has a very low appearance rate. I'm honestly surprised I've gotten as many as I have. But yeah, this pipe can push you up to the upper platform, but no luck. Also, Luigi caught it pretty quickly, like disconcertingly quickly. Internet too, but maybe they were further back. Maybe the perspective was just weird. Either way, no real difficulty that time. Also, the steering wheel is clipping into Rosalina's dress, so that's kind of a little oversight right there. Alright, so Grumble Volcano from Mario Kart Wii is actually a pretty cool track. I will say the biggest difference between this and the original is probably in lighting, because the Wii version's lighting was honestly somehow worse than Double Dash's, I think. Like, all the characters in Double Dash had kind of a glossy texture to them, and it felt kind of, like it was worse in Wii. And some of the character models are surprisingly low poly, so I feel like the lighting was also very basic, which didn't help the character models. But yeah, the lighting in the stage is phenomenal, and definitely makes it feel pretty different. You have these little fire snakes from Super Mario Bros. 3 as obstacles. I like the little warp pipes and blocks scattered around. This is actually one of the most famous stages on Wii, actually, because there's a very notorious glitch where you can actually complete the stage really quickly. So again, it's not just the N64 that's really lucky. Wii has its fair share of problems too. Personally, again, that's why I do enjoy speedruns with those two more, because of how broken they are at times. Also, Mario Kart Wii just had the worst item balance, but had some really cool ideas that unfortunately never came back. There was a lightning cloud that gave you a boost of speed, but if you did not pass it on to another player, it would electrocute you and shrink you down. So basically, you have to get a speed boost from it, but also pass it off before it shocks you, and thus shocks the other player. So it adds a bit of strategy. Like, it's not really a helpful item, but it's not really a hurtful. But it's also... Okay, what I mean is it's helpful, but also hurtful. Which I don't think they've ever done an item like that before or since. Also, I did not take the upper path at all. There's an upper path. I just instinctively took the bottom path all 3 times. I also like how the track crumbles over time. It's just visually and gameplay-wise just a nice thing to make the track a little bit more stressful. This is the deepest cut reference, but it reminds me a little bit of a PS1 movie tie-in game for the movie Treasure Planet, which the final stage in that game is a race in like a collapsing area. which I guess makes sense if you've seen the movie, and if not, I probably won't. And finally, for the Lightning Cup, we have the Nintendo 64 Rainbow Road. This is, to my knowledge, the longest track in Mario Kart history. So much so that for this version, they made it 1 lap. This is honestly I think this is one of the preferred tracks. Aesthetically, you can see a city below, which is fantastic. You can see, like, elements, I think, like Toad Harbor and several other stages, too. You have this train that drops coins, and you have the remix of the classic Mario Kart 64 Rainbow Road theme. You have the chomps that actually bounce instead of just, like, go through the stage. But yeah, basically the big change is you have checkpoints instead of traditional laps, because this would be like a 6-minute race originally, maybe 7 minutes. It was pretty long, so they just made it 1 lap, basically. I wish this game had lap settings. Mario Kart Double Dash did. So I wish this game allowed you to set lap settings differently, like being able to do essentially 9 laps in this track, because honestly, I think this map would have been fine with 2 laps. Like, if you did 2 laps on this, like, the whole circuit, I think it would be fine. Because 1 feels a little short. 2 feels... like, 2 would be around, like, 4 minutes, which would be a little long, even by Mario Kart standards. But, like, yeah, the full 3 laps, I agree, would be a little much, but I do wish they had a little bit more, because that was over really fast, and it's a beautiful track. And with that, the Retro Cups come to a close. So far, we're doing really well. We've won all of the cups with maximum points. Again, for the record, the reason I reset this particular recording was because I would have dropped down really far. Because again, like, 5th place would just be really bad. So, like, if I got, like, 2nd place, I wouldn't have minded nearly as much. Also, this is a really exciting replay of just driving in a straight line with no jump cuts at all, basically. I'm not sure why the game decided on doing that, picking the most boring race, actually, because nothing happened. Like, we didn't attack anyone with particularly that many items, or we didn't get hit very much, but oh well. Also, the trophies have an engraving on them. I can't quite read what it says. Looks like it says, like, exceptional... professional kart racing... distinguished driver, actually. Professional kart racing distinguished driver. Cool. But yeah, nice little detail. Oh, it says on the plaque, too. It would have been easier than trying to read it on the lightning bolt itself. But oh well. In any case, next time we're gonna go back to battle mode, except this time on the Switch version. So, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.